From the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex, it's time again for Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. And as usual, before we do anything, if you would please get down there in that corner and smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. Little Pistons, little Red Wings, little Michigan State. Focus mainly on the Lions tonight. They've got a game coming up, of course, Sunday at Ford Field with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's get Michigan State out of the way. The Wolverines are not playing this weekend. They've got 2 games left. They're 5-5. A week from Saturday, they got Northwestern at the Big House. And of course, if they want to go to a bowl game, it is a must win for them. As I said Tuesday, if you can't beat Northwestern at home, you don't deserve to go to a bowl game. They can beat Northwestern at home. They'll end the season 6-6. But with this offense the way it is now, if you're an alum, if you're a Michigan alum, and you make it a yearly routine to go to a warm weather climate between Christmas and New Year's and watch them in a bowl game, it is a party. It's one big party for the alumni, but this is not an entertaining team to watch. It's hard to watch, really. No fun. No. So that's where it stands for them. As I said, I don't know anything. I just have I made a prediction Tuesday. I think Lane Kiffin will be the Michigan Wolverines coach next year, and that's merely all it is a conjecture on my part. That's it. I don't know anything. I don't have any inside track on what's going on. No. Michigan State is 4-5. They've got a game in Illinois Saturday. I do not expect them to win, but I do think that they can win their next 2 games at home against Purdue and Rutgers. I'd like to see them end the season 6-6 and go to a bowl. Given everything that's going on there, I think they'd be a nice accomplishment for Jonathan Smith. As I said before, he seemed like a nice guy. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but seemed like a good man. So, yeah, we're rooting. I would like nothing better than to see the Spartans beat Illinois Saturday. Don't think they will, but if they could, I think they'd have a chance to run the table and win their last 3 games. But I don't see that. Hang on just a second here. So let's see. We got Michigan State out of the way. The Red Wings and the Pistons both played last night. I can't remember any time at all that they both played on the same night and both had overtime games on the same night. Red Wings again beat Pittsburgh in overtime, 3-2 on a goal from. I'm having a brain cramp right now. If I can think of it, anyway, they won 3-2. Was it Edmondson on a goal from Edmondson, I believe it was. Yeah. I think I was half asleep when the game ended, but anyway, yeah, the Red Wings won in overtime last night, 3-2. But again, they only scored. It was Simon Edmondson. Yeah, they only scored 2 goals again in regulation. For this team, they just don't score any goals. But yeah, they won the game, and right now they're 7-1. That's good for 15 points, and I think they're like 3 points behind third place Bruins. Maybe they can pick it up later on in the season or somewhere down the line here. But this team, you just can't score any goals. In fact, now that they played 15 games, now that they played 15 games, 37 goals in 15 games. That's last, second to last. The only team that has scored fewer goals is the team they're playing tomorrow night out of Anaheim, the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, they're out west where they'll play the Ducks and the LA Kings. Late night games. You're going to stay up and watch those games. Not me. So, yeah, that's where the Wings are right now. They're 7-1, 15 points. Will they make the playoffs this year? Quite frankly, I don't know right now. I can't answer that. I don't know. I'll have to see if Yzerman does anything at the trade deadline, but the goaltending has been okay. They had a 2-0 lead last night, lost it, went to overtime. They won it overtime again on a goal from Simon Edmondson. Pistons are 5-8 their first 13 games. You can argue they should be 7-6, but they're not. The rookie, Ron Holland, at the free throw line in a tie game, 1 second left, he was awarded 2 free throws, and he missed them both. All he had to do was make one. He missed them both. Of course, they went in overtime. They would end up losing 127-120. The Bucks aren't very good either. That entire NBA Eastern Conference, with the exception, of course, of the Cleveland Cavaliers, is one big farce. The NBA East could be a minor league for the NBA West. That's how bad the NBA Eastern Conference is right now. There are no good teams, of course, as I said, with the exception of the Cleveland Cavaliers, there are no good teams in the NBA's Eastern Conference. There just aren't. I don't even put Celtics. Yeah, well, the Celtics and the Cavaliers, and the only 2 decent teams. And frankly, the Celtics have not gotten off to that good of a start either. So who are the Wings entertain tomorrow night? The Bulls? They play the Bulls tomorrow night? I'll have to check that out. See, anyway, they're playing tomorrow night. I'm sorry, the Toronto Raptors. That's it. They got the Bulls coming up next week. They're playing the Toronto Raptors tomorrow night. And again, it's a winnable game, but right now the Wings are a little banged up. They only played 8 men last night. No, I think the Bucks aren't very good. They came into the game with a record of 3-8. And every Piston game, all you have to do is watch the last 2 minutes. I guess you'll see everything, right? Because pretty much every game has come down to that now. So what I say, to recap, the Pistons are 5-8. Really, the NBA East is a total farce. And that's the way I look at it. The Raptors aren't very good either. So tomorrow night's game will probably come down to the last few seconds. That might even be another overtime game. Who knows? I don't know. But one thing for sure, the Pistons don't have a point guard. They do not have a point guard. They don't have a pure point guard. Some guy that can shoot, take care of the ball, distribute the ball, have a high assist total. If they only had a point guard. They don't. They don't have any pure point guard. And until they get one, this is what you're going to see. So, are they better defensively? I think they are, yeah. And this goes back to last year again. I don't think Monty Williams cared whether he won or lost. He knew he was only going to be there 1 year, take the money and run, and that's what happened. If he was going to do that, it wasn't fair for him to take the job anyway. But he knew that he was only going to be there 1 year. And he didn't care how many games they won. So we got that out of the way. We got the Pistons and Red Wings out of the game, out of the way, and I betted on that a little bit. So before we talk about the Lions, let me wet my whistle and do a commercial here for Frank Beck Chevrolet. As you know, my good people at Frank Beck Chevrolet who sponsor this show, and I guess my segue into this is the cold weather is here. It's here now. I think you can kiss the 60s and 70s goodbye, maybe even the 50s for a while. I don't think we made 50 degrees today. Anyway, what am I getting at here? What am I segueing into? The colder weather is upon us. It's here. And the good folks at the service department at Frank Beck Chevrolet say now is the time to make an appointment to make sure your vehicle is ready for the winter weather ahead. You get in there and let them check the strength of your battery, your belts and hoses, your wiper blades, antifreeze, and more. Plus, now's the perfect time to get those new set of tires so you don't go slipping and sliding down the highway. And if you don't think your car will make it through another rough Michigan winter, let the sales pros at Beck's help you find the vehicle for all seasons. The 2025s are rolling in nearly every day out of the lot right now, so their selection is tops. And you can check out their inventory on their webpage at frankbeckchevy.com, or better still, stop by the dealership on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville and let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. The Lions, who are 8-1 now, entertain they're back home. This will be like a homecoming for them at Ford Field on Sunday, 1:00 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who will once again be without Trevor Lawrence. So we'll be looking at one Mac Jones, who did not have a good game against the Vikings on Sunday. They scored an early touchdown, took a 7-3 lead, and that was it for them. Although they did play well defensively, they held the Vikings to 4 field goals by a former Lion, by the way, John Parker Romo, because Reichert is hurt right now. I don't know what his issue is, but they signed John Parker Romo last week, and he kicked 4 field goals for an exciting 12-7 win on Sunday down in Jacksonville. They played a good thing. Look, the Jaguars played pretty well defensively on last Sunday. Like I said, they held the Vikings to just 4 field goals. They picked off Sam Darnold 3 times. Trayvon Walker, he was the one. He was taken just before Aiden Hutchinson was in the draft 3 years ago. He's having a very good season. He's playing very well. They have a respectable defense. The line started out at 13 on Sunday night. For a day or two, it was 13.5. Now it's back to 13. Look, 13 points is an awful lot of points. And I don't know. I don't bet. But if I were betting, gosh, I really don't know. Taylor Decker will be back. He was back at practice today. He told Will Birchfield he felt solely responsible for what transpired in the first half at Houston Sunday night. Well, I guess that's not saying much for Dan Skipper. He did not play well. And Goff took a lot of hits. Like somebody asked me the other day if I had any concerns. Yeah, I'm concerned with all the hits Goff has had to take the last few weeks. God forbid, if anything happened to him, your season is over. Now, he was picked off 5 times. Pardon me, if he has another bad game on Sunday, the so-called national experts are going to start to come down on him. He lost any shot he had at an MVP award. That's out the window. Now, admittedly, 2 or 3 of those balls were tipped. One was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. The other one was a long pass, which pretty much amounted to a punt right after the Carlton Davis interception in the end zone, which, by the way, was the biggest play of the game. If he doesn't pick that ball off and they score another touchdown, the game is over right there. And a lot of people still, in spite of the fact that the Lions won, have soured on them a little bit. People I've been talking to this week. Look, Houston is a very good team. The Houston Texans are very good. That was their first defeat at home this year. They hadn't lost. Their problem is the way they're playing on the road. What are they? 2-3 on the road, I believe. Yeah. They're 6-4 right now. I still think they're going to win that division. They'll be in the playoffs. Once they get Nico Collins back, I think they'll be fine. The Houston Texans are a very good team. In fact, you look at the Lions' last 3 road wins. At Minnesota, Vikings are good. They're not great, but they're good. I think you can say the same thing about the Packers and the Texans. I think the Texans are probably, well, although they, again, on the road, they've already lost games at Minnesota and at Green Bay this year. They're just not the same team on the road that they are at home. Anyway, the next 3 games, I fully expect the Lions will be prohibitive favorites in the next 3 games. And they're playing the Jaguars at home on Sunday. Then next week, they'll be down at Lucas Oil to take on the Colts. And then back home here to play the Bears on Thanksgiving Day. What do those 3 teams have in common right now? I'll tell you right after I put in a good word for a good man who I've told you many times before. Without his assistance and knowledge, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. That's Tim Lilly at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale at 37 Waldron Street. Any technical issues or needs at all that you folks have. Computers, new or used. Maybe the computer you have now needs a little work done on it. Flat screen, TV, need it mounted, programmed, internet installation, printers, new or used, anything at all. This is the guy you want to see. Tim Lindley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. Or better still, like I said, get in there and see him at 37 Walden Street. It's a couple hundred feet west of Howell. And when you do, please tell them Miggy and me said hi and we sent you. Thank you very much. So what do the Jaguars and the Colts and the Bears all have in common? One word, folks. One word. Chaos. Chaos. The Jaguars, I think their general manager's afraid he's going to lose his job. I think their coach, Doug Peterson, is just hanging by a thread right now. He said Monday he thought maybe Trevor Lawrence had a shot at playing. He came back out yesterday and said, no, he's out. You'll see Mac Jones in there. Jones did not have a good game against the Vikings. Like I said, he scored an early touchdown, but after that, the Vikings pretty much shut him down. Not only that, the Jaguars haven't won on the road this year. They've only won 2 games all year. They have not won a road game. And they're not going to win Sunday. Like I say, the only thing is with that point spread, I don't know what to tell you. That's an awful lot of points for the NFL. So chaos, it is complete chaos also in Indianapolis. Their head coach came up Monday morning after their game, said he was sticking with Joe Flacco. Jim Irsay informed him. No, Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, who runs the team. I don't know what he's the owner. If you're the owner, you can do whatever you want. He stepped in and said, "No, we're gonna play the guy that I drafted." We were referring to Anthony Richardson, who was benched by this coach in favor of Flacco. Flacco hadn't been very good, but he said Monday that they were going to stick with him. Jim Irsay says, "We're going to play the guy that I drafted," the great Jim Irsay. So when the Lions are down there a week from Sunday, you'll be looking at Anthony Richardson, Jim Irsay's guy. You wonder, too, how many Lion fans are going to make the trek down I-69. They're probably going to take over Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts' primary color is blue, too, but it's not the same shade of blue as the Lions' Honolulu blue. In fact, I think the Lions' next 2 road games at Indianapolis and then next month at Soldier Field in Chicago. People making the trek west down 80-90 to Soldier Field. I think the Lion fans are going to take over there, too. The third team that the Lions are going to be facing on Thanksgiving Day, the Bears. Matt Eberflus, in doing an interview with 670 The Score on Monday, his cell phone kept cutting out on him. I think after the third or fourth time, the fellow back at the studio interviewing him prompted him to say, your phone isn't working any better than your offense. He said changes were going to be made, and he did. He threw his offensive coordinator under the bus. He's been fired. There are chants at Soldier Field of fire flus. Those are the chants at Soldier Field now. Apparently, Cole Kmet came out today, this morning, and denied that the rumor was, or among the press or the media or whatever, that several players, there was a clique, a Bears locker room clique led by DJ Moore, that went to the coaching staff and said they wanted Caleb Williams benched in favor of their backup. And I couldn't even tell you who the backup is right now. Cole Kmet denied that today, but obviously I have no way of confirming that. But the rumor around the Windy City was that several of the Bear players went to the coaching staff and demanded that they bench Caleb Williams in favor of their backup. I don't know if that's true or not. Cole Kmet denied it this morning. Anyway, it's a mess in Chicago, too. More than likely, when the Bears get here on Thanksgiving Day, we're looking at Caleb Williams. But that Bear offense right now, I don't know who, now that they fired their coordinator, I don't know who's calling the plays there now. But so that's what the next 3 opponents for the Lions. Next 3 opponents. Jaguars, Colts, Bears. What do they have in common? Chaos. It's a chaotic condition in all 3 cities right now. Of course, after that, then the following Thursday night after Thanksgiving, what is that? December the 5th. You've got Green Bay coming in here. Remember, Green Bay won here last year on Thanksgiving Day. Or if we got 2. It's been several years since the Lions, regardless of who they're playing, since they won a game on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, I'll have to go back and look that up, but it's been a few years now. So, in spite of the fact that they are playing the Bears, keep that in mind. It'd be interesting to see what the point spread is on that game. But Jaguars, Colts, Bears, December the 5th. We've got Packers Thursday night on Amazon Prime. We'll see. Packers are a good team. They're still a respectable team. After that, then 10 days later, I think Sunday, December the 15th, the Bills come in here for a 4:25 America's Game of the Week. I fully expect the Lions to lose one of those 2 games, either against the Packers or the Bills. Then they go back to Chicago, the last 2 games out in San Francisco and Minnesota at home. Hang on just a second. I'm almost done here. I hate to break it to you, but the Lions aren't going 16-1. I think they're going to go 14-3 myself. Before we get out of here, too, tonight, the Commanders and Eagles. Root for the Commanders. The Eagles right now, and the Lions right now as we stand, are the number 1 seed in the NFC, but the Eagles are just a game behind them. So let's hope the Commanders can win tonight. And a couple of other good matchups on Sunday. You got the Steelers-Ravens in an AFC North matchup, and you've also got the 4:25 game, which I'm really looking forward to, the Chiefs and the Bills. A couple of good matchups, both in the AFC this Sunday. there are no really attractive matchups in the NFC this Sunday. There just aren't, unless you want to say the Packers and the Bears are a good matchup. But Packers should win that game. I say should. It's a rivalry, but we'll see. Do I have everything out of the way here now? I got everything. Have I got you folks caught up on everything? I think so. That's going to just about do it for us right here. Don't forget Saturday morning with Andy and Jed. Time out on WCSR 93.1, 92.1 FM. And before we get out of here, too, good luck to all the deer hunters. They'll be out there at the crack of the dawn tomorrow morning. Stay safe. Good luck. And I think that's going to about do it. So until I talk to you on Saturday, remember, please treat each other with respect. Have a good rest of your evening. So long, everybody. And like I said, good luck to all your hunters. Bye.